And a good midday on this Sunday. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. Looking at the entire area here, North America, we're seeing, of course, colder temperatures, mostly confined now up and a little bit further to the north. We have temperatures a little bit offset, though, sort of intermediate, you might say, 30s and 40s. We have a pretty strong inland cyclone that's located up in the high plains or portions of the upper Midwest, heading more toward the Great Lakes. Eventually, this is going to take a track and spin up into the eastern Great Lakes, and it's going to bring us a little bit of marginal gradient wind gusts. It's going to be, again, on the geography, fairly narrow along the western slopes of the Green Mountains with 35 to 40 mile per hour winds. That looks to be happening pretty far around the corner. We're talking Thursday night into about probably early Friday afternoon as it looks. And again, nothing that's going to be very, very strong. This will bring us a big swath of rain. It looks like it's going to be rain. As this area of low pressure eventually pulls away, a little bit of colder air comes in behind it over this coming weekend, just beyond the outlook period, and that could also change it back to some snow showers. So we're not going to be done with snow showers completely, and it would probably only affect the very higher elevations of any kind of traverses that any of the high-level routes across the Green Mountains. But otherwise, we're starting to see kind of typical normal April. A little bit unusual to see southeasterly gradient winds that will be affecting us. Again, that's for Thursday night into Friday. That's about the only impact section I have. Otherwise, we're looking at a nice area of higher pressure just in time for the total solar eclipse that'll be moving in on Monday. And, of course, that'll be tracking. At this point, we're looking at a lot of cloud cover in some parts of Texas. And this is going to stretch up into parts of the Ohio River Valley. Right now, it looks like New England's going to be in a better shape. A little bit of high clouds will begin to spill coming in out of the northwest and over the top of a ridge of higher pressure, and that could obscure the sun just a little bit for our total solar eclipse at about 3:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Monday. On the left, we have the European deterministic model. We have the GFS ensemble model on the right-hand side. This is our ridge of higher pressure that's going to be affording us some very fine weather for the next really 3 days going into Tuesday. And this ridge of higher pressure, not a whole lot to write about. It's not very strong, but it's going to do the job. A little bit of high-level clouds will start to come over the top here and affect us along about Monday, and that's going to be about Monday afternoon. But again, very dry conditions. Just an illustration of some very light rain shower activity in the European. Really nothing. It's really going to make it here. So it's not going to be until probably overnight Tuesday night into the day on Wednesday that we see the first rain showers that's going to be working on in. This is a kind of a separate package from this area of low pressure that we'll be pushing in. This is a relatively deep area of low pressure that we'll be tracking again into the eastern Great Lakes. And you can see it 984, 982, 981. And that's going to tighten up the pressure gradient, and combined with rain, we're going to see those really south to southeasterly gradient winds that interact with the mountains. That's going to be about our only impact section, again, for this outlook period. And then as that moves on beyond the period, we're into Saturday now, 12Z, about 8 o'clock in the morning. Starting to see a little bit of snow kick in on the backside here with a little bit of snow shower activity. Not really a big deal at all. But then beyond that, another ridge of higher pressure will build in before the next weather system tries to do the same thing. Looking at the 3-hourly QPF, we have kind of one big weather system that's going to be starting again along about Tuesday night into the day on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, it looks like over the weekend, all of that. It's primarily going to be rainfall. Looking at the 850 millibar temperatures, hectopascals, you can see temperatures above the 0-degree isotherm. So any precipitation occurring during this time frame will be in the form of rain. Temperatures do slide a little bit on the tail end of that departing area of low pressure and cool off below the 0-degree isotherm. So this is when we can see a little bit of wet snow on the backside. So looking at that precipitation type, and then we'll also cover, there's your little bit of snow. Again, primarily rain. I would ignore that. That does not look like a problem. And then total snowfall, we're talking 0.2 of an inch. So barely minimal here. Not a real big deal. In terms of precipitable water, the amount the atmosphere is going to hold, the peak is during, it looks like about the 11th into the 12th. So this is like Thursday, Friday in that time frame as we get the most moisture working in around that area of low pressure that'll be over the eastern Great Lakes at that point in time, and also bring us again, combined with that, a little bit of rising streams and river levels with the snow melt that's going to be taking place, because those temperatures are also warming up. And just looking at the temperatures, again, you can see the schematic with the European plots as well, but you can see how the temperatures kind of round the corner here, and we'll be seeing temperatures basically in the 50s, trying to make a run in the 60s in some location. Total precipitation, again, we're looking at probably above 1 inch amount, so to about 1.5, and it looks like the heaviest precipitation will be a little bit to our north, and again across parts of New England and the Northeast. 2-meter temperature anomaly showing just a little bit below normal. The white would be normal, and of course this is above normal over a wide area. The high latitudes have been fairly warm. That's going to start to change. We're going to start to see the polar vortex strengthen, and it's going to warm up in the mid-latitudes eventually, yet to come. This, by the way, in the last snowstorm and the weather we've been seeing, really has a lot to do with a sudden stratospheric warming event that actually occurred back in March. And we're really still seeing the effects of that with colder than normal conditions, but we're starting to turn a corner as the polar vortex begins to increase. And projected temperatures for the next 5 days of high temperatures, we're going upwards, about 3 to 6 degrees above normal, almost 9 degrees. And about 3 days later, it looks like this. So we're running it still kind of leveling off with temperatures going above seasonal norms for a change. And on this Sunday midday, you see clouds pulling away. This is basically snow cover and a little bit of cloud cover off to the east of us. That's headed out with that area of low pressure that is still way back off the New England coast. It's very slow to move out, but it's doing so, and that ridge of higher pressure is taking over. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.